Hello and welcome to a short video showing you how to configure the settings on the Sigma BC1009 cycle computer. Here it is. It's currently just sitting on the clock display at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, this button down here is the set button. I'm going to press and hold that button and it'll say settings open, and it's now dropped me into the settings menu. And using this button in the bottom right hand corner, I can scroll through the various settings that are available. The first one is the language setting, and to change that you press the set button once and the setting should flash, and you can then use the buttons on the top here to cycle through the available languages. You can use this button and this button here to go backwards, and when you're on your chosen language you can click the set button just the once. It'll say set OK, and that's the setting complete. You can then use this button in the bottom right hand corner to move to the next setting, which is the unit setting for whether you want miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So you press the set button once, it'll flash, and you can then use these buttons to select your chosen option, hitting the set button when you're finished, and then bottom right hand corner to move on to the next setting. Now this is quite an important setting. This is where you have to set the circumference in millimeters of your bike wheels. Now according to the instructions, which are here, you can either measure the circumference completely yourself, or you can measure the height of the wheel and multiply it by 3.14 to give you the circumference. Or the easier way is to simply locate your tyre size in this chart here, and mine are 700 by 35, which gives me a circumference of 2205. So that's the value I need to put into the cycle computer. So going back to the setting, I'm going to click the set button once, and that'll make the first digit flash, and you can then use the buttons on the top to select the first digit. So I need 2, and then you can click the button in the bottom right hand corner to move on to the next digit, and you can set that value, and then using that you go through the remaining digits and set them to whatever you need to set them to, and when you've finished you can click set once, and that's done. Then bottom right hand corner again to move on to the next setting, hit set once, and what you can do now is set the hour value. Now you notice here it showed me AM and PM, so you scroll through the hours through the AM and PM until you've got the correct hour. So I want 10 PM, and then you hit the button in the bottom right hand corner, and then you can do the same with the minutes as required, and when you've finished you hit the set button. Now for some strange reason, if you've got miles per hour set as your speed units, you get the time in AM or PM. If you've got your speed units set as kilometers per hour, you get a 24-hour clock. Not quite sure why they chose to do it that way. I would prefer to have it in 24-hour clock, but I can't because I'm using miles per hour. Completely crazy design decision, but that's the way it is. So right hand button again to get to the total distance. Now most people are going to leave that 0. What you can do is click set and set a miles or kilometers value to show how much distance you've travelled in the past. You probably would want to do that if you were using this to replace a previous device and you wanted to carry over your total mileage. I'm not interested in doing that, so I'm going to leave that 0 and then press set. And similarly you can put in a total time value if that's important to you, and then pressing bottom right we're onto the contrast setting. Now if I press the set button once, that should flash and I can change it. And you can go through 1, 2 or 3. 2 is the default. 3 makes the black a bit blacker, makes the screen a bit more solid. 2 is in the middle and 1 just makes it slightly paler. But I'm just going to leave it on 2. That seems like a good compromise. And I'm going to click set. Bottom right again, we're back round to the same menu. You can carry on scrolling and setting these as required, and when you're finished you hold down the set button. It says setting closed and then takes you back to the main screen, and then using this mode button and this mode button you can happily scroll through the different modes available. And that is how you set up your Sigma 1009 cycle computer.